Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start. I have to do an early live stream. I wanted to fit this in and do one, even though it's kind of early for me and maybe even you guys on the East Coast, just because I got a lot going on today. But I thought it was good to just check in. I just uploaded a market update. I won't go through the market update video because it's got a lot of information that's important, and I just don't want to waste the time on the live stream talking about it too much. But basically, the idea is the 10-year or the TLT or the bond market, whatever you want to call it, has now shown the first warning signs, significant warning signs to the bullish case, to the moon boy case, to hey, this market is not potentially, um, could be at risk. It's not like, oh my God, get out of the market now, but it's a significant, it's a warning sign. It's just one of many clues you try to piece together to kind of figure out where the market is going, and that's just a new piece of evidence that we have now that we need to really start paying more attention than we maybe needed to the couple of days before, because the rates are continuing to be supported impulsively, and it seems to me that even though if rates do pull back in a dip, which will support the markets for even more upside, obviously, especially small caps, then at some point it seems like rates will continue higher, and if that's the case, we're at risk of breaking those highs that we had last year, that everyone freaked out about, and then going to eventually the 7-8% mark, which I'm sure would collapse the stock market when that happens, and cause a massive recession. I mean, it has. You're right. There's no way I think the market could function with long-term rates at those levels, but the charts are showing long-term rates are heading there at some point. And I thought it would be a lot later than than it may be. So just something we want to watch. But that's a first piece of evidence, and that video talks about that. So yeah, let's take a look here and see what we've got going on. Let's see here. Let's go to my video here. There we go. I think I got everything situated here. Yep. Let me double check one more thing. I'll be right back here. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we're good on everything. Yeah. All right. So here we are. Go back to the live scene. Okay, guys, let's just jump into your questions. Um, Tesla and Hood. Yeah, let's go look at Tesla. So Tesla, it to me it's not complete. It's a sequence lower. So gave you guys a short area. It's definitely seems to be struggling at this level, and I do believe it's at risk for more downside. At risk for more downside, right? Once this line breaks, that should confirm the next move lower. And when you look at it here, you could have the crash. I call it the crash formation. Right? I don't know if there's some news that's going to drop or something, but this is the crash formation, guys. So definitely would not be buying the dip here in any sense of the word. I think we need to really come back and take out 203 to have another leg higher and change and negate this pattern. But I am looking for this levels down here, right? Somewhere down there. So just keep that in mind. So I do see more downside in Tesla, unfortunately. Okay. And or fortunately, for whoever your position is. So I do this. This is what I see. You have to do what's best for you. I don't recommend trading it. Honestly, I just would say sidelines. If it comes down here, you can go long. If it surges, then you can go long on any kind of dip or pullback to play more upside for a trade. But here it's like flipping a coin, but it does seem very bearish setup. immersion on Tesla. Then Robinhood. Yeah, Robinhood, guys, is has a breakout. Has a breakout now. One of the few that are actually breaking out. If I can find where I have it here, I'll just type it in. So Robinhood. So Robinhood, like I said, I'm changing the count because of the breakout. 1, 2 in a flat, 1, 2, and now it looks like to me it's in some kind of fifth wave. You know, I was thinking of putting it labeled like this. This is a little too bullish. However, the RSI supports that view. But if I really look closely, right, 1, 4, right? So to me, it's a wave 5. It's a wave 5. That's what I'm looking at, something like that. But I do believe because we broke these highs, you know, these highs, these levels, these key levels have been broken here, here, and soon. Oh, we did. Yeah, we broke this already. So Robinhood's a buy the dip in 3 waves. It's a bullish breakout. It's in a bullish cycle advance. We don't know where it will end or how, but once it gets through this resistance here at 1650, there's really no resistance, guys, to 40 on the chart, technically. So this little breakout was huge. So to me, I like it. I like this trade. So it seems okay. It seems okay for even investment actually. If you can get a bigger pullback, like a bigger pullback. It broke out. It just broke out. You know, we're trying to anticipate a corrective pattern, but definitely by taking this high out like we just did there, that definitely negated the bear case in my mind. So Robinhood is good, and it's like, hey, that's a good sign. That's the first kind of like, you know, meme type stock that finally is pulling out of the gutter, right? Now, if only these other ones can do the same thing. So we'll see. Oh, Mela Ribre took a freaking dump, huh? But I want to go long this thing. I want to go long this thing. Melly. The problem with Melly is I don't like the bigger picture on it. I've had this count since June of like really November 22, and it finally completed, and it ended in the way I would have expected. So why do I call this? Because of this bottom. This bottom is not a clean bottom. You see, we don't have that capitulation, just like the indices, right? We don't have this capitulation. We also don't have any kind of Fibonacci level. So I actually, I think this advance is pretty significant. This is a bold call to say this is going to come down and break this low, right? But by my system, that's what I'm saying it's going to do. So I don't want to trade it. I just don't want to trade it. I don't like how it bottomed. Definitely love this sell-off is exactly how a Y wave would start, how an X wave would end, a massive boom candle. So I believe there's more downside to come, and we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. So this, again, you got to do what's best for you on it. You have to do what's best for you, but you know, I could force, I guess. Yeah, I could force it, right? I could force it, and maybe since I haven't looked at the structure in a long time, I'm gonna relabel it just a little bit, but it's still bearish because of this. You could probably make the case it's actually 5 waves down. like this, and then you have some kind of other, some kind of ABC here, like that. But either way, I definitely don't want to trade it on the long side. Look at that. Exactly tagged 1802. And look at that, a massive. So yeah, this thing's done, guys. This is done. It's done. That kind of reaction right at the sell area is a significant warning sign. That's a bearish reversal, and yeah, I would stay away from it on the long side. Perhaps there's a short entry you could trade if this rallies back, short it, right? But this look at that, boom. So that's the pattern. So count was off a little bit, but now that we have more data, like I said, I hadn't looked at this in over a year, I think. So we updated it. But this is still still bearish count because of this bottom. It just was just different look. But I do believe it's in a leg lower. And look what happened here, guys. So don't think it's just going to go straight down, right? What if it does something like this? Right. Don't think it's just going to go like that. So look what happened here. All right. Melly. That was Melly. TMDX. That's that healthcare company, I think, if I remember right. How's that going? Looks like our chart's been playing out a little bit. We got this very shallow pullback, right there. We didn't get a deep wave too. Okay, we're still pulling back here. Because we didn't get that deep wave too, we got to be careful that you don't get a flat, and then it then it drops in almost like a crash correction down, back down to 69. So I don't like it because of the RSI situation on it. I don't like it, but I think you do need to respect this could be kind of a flat pattern, and then A, B, C, something like that. But I mean, I'm looking at it. You could make the case, but the RSI my system does not support this, but the Elliott wave count could still be this, a 1-2-1-2. So by my RSI method, this count isn't supported. In fact, it may be better to just say that the 4 is here, the 5 is here, something like this, and then we'll pull back to 73. But either way is bullish, right? Either way, this is a bullish breakout. So whatever happens here, we should continue higher. But this is a mess. It's like Shopify's. It's like real messy. It's hard to get an accurate read on what this is right here. Yeah, given nobody's on really, I'll do MSOS. Let's take a look at how that was playing out. So let's see here. Could that be, that's too big for wave 4. So it looks like it formed another 1-2. It was really close to the short area. I wonder if the structure morphed into a 3-wave correction. No, it's still 4. Okay, so this 4-wave that's where we're at with it. Something like that. So I'm still looking for this area. It just looks like the 4-wave came a little sooner, and it should this is what I'm looking at. But I still think it's going to reverse in this area where I've circled. This pivot on RSI is higher, so I still look at this as one cycle, two cycle, and then finish, and then down. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. If for some reason it breaks back below 825, then it's a three-wave correction that finished in a WXY and not an ABC, which happens. Sometimes that can happen. HSI. Oh, Hang Seng futures or Hang Seng index. Yeah, so I mentioned this in my market video. It's at a very important moment. Hang Seng hit the short area. And got rejected here. If that's the case, that's another bearish warning sign for the market, if this is true. So right now, the jury's out. If this is the low, this could be a 1 and a 3-wave move, 2, and we come out, we break 17.8, and then the indices will race, everything goes to the moon and melt up. Moon boy scenario probably happens in the market. But if we get what I have here and we break this low, we haven't, then I believe moon boy scenario is negated and we'll continue lower all the way down to 5,000. And then this probably will crash, the world, global markets will crash with this, with China bringing down the global markets. That's what this is telling me. But for right now, it's we have to wait and see. But now it looks to me that you have this 3 waves and it's done. And now the market will either pull down. And again, it's not going to just crash, right? It's a 5 wave. So what happens after 5? It rallies again, right? So just understand that. So that's it. Now, if we could continue higher and break this area, then this is negated. The bearish case is negated in China. And yes, I do believe China will see a 3 of 3 of 3, and it will propel world markets to new highs that we can't imagine. And what would cause that? Maybe they decide to do a massive stimulus. They print, build shit everywhere. I don't know why. Who knows why? But what this is showing me is now the bears are going to try to play their hand here, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, we haven't looked at Bowen in a long time. So we had this 3-wave move. We had this 2 here. Not sure what's going on with it. I have to reorient myself to the chart I had. Oh, we're calling it a flat. Okay, that's what we're doing. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, and now we need to. Now the reason I think this is going to happen like this, 1, we broke this high here. So this is some kind of flat. Now, it's obviously a running flat or something. I don't know what it is, but it's a flat. And it looks like to me this leg is about to end. So it looks like some kind of running flat that's about to end. We should go higher. Now this would mean the market, this is going to help the markets, right? If this happens. But then a catastrophe in Bowen will happen here that will threaten the existence of the company. That's my prediction. But good luck trading it. And like I said, guys, if you're long this stock, you're one Bowen Max disaster away from being bankrupt and wiped out. I'm just telling you. And we saw a little of that with the Alaska airline fiasco, right? What happened? But I'm just telling you, there is event risk. Like you cannot believe holding long positions in this company. you can wake up overnight and I think half your money could disappear in a blink of an eye. I'm just telling you I'm just telling you. I know it. I know people love this company because it's American. They make planes which are cool, and that hey they could just charge whatever they want to because they're like a duopoly and all that shit. But it doesn't matter if the planes are crashing, they're gonna crash, right? And if they have any more issues with the Mac, especially if they get a big public disaster calamity, where one of those crashes again or something, this is what's going to happen, guys. The equity holders are going to be wiped out, and then they're going to then who knows what happens to this company, you know, at this point. But just keep in mind, just keep that in mind. But it seems technically like it should still find more support once this C leg eventually ends, and it looks like to me it's ending at any moment. Okay, iSeeker, thanks for the super chat. Yeah, let's go to your questions here. Luna, the cryptos. I think crypto is potentially on the verge of a big breakout. Oh, is Luna even still a thing? I thought Luna's like gone. I thought Luna's gone. Oh yeah, they split it, right? They split it up or something. Well, I mean, it went to zero. So I think the best way to trade it is just from the last pivot, which is right here. And then you just trade the cycle against that low, which is bullish. So the cycle's bullish against this low. It looks like it's up in 5, right? That looks like 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No RSI divergence. There's a little bit here. That's good enough. So we'll go with that. We'll still say it's impulsive. And now it's correcting that impulse. It pulled back to the wave 4 low, which is very common. Connector wave is right there. Tagged the buy area, found support. Textbook, bullish cycle. Yes, it looks like a great opportunity for long position right now. Right here, right now. But you'll have to do what's best for you. I can be wrong. And trust me, I can be wrong. So good luck to you, man. But this could be a 1-2, 1-2. It could also be another 1-2. But I would say bullish against this low. So this is your pivot, your new pivot to trade against this wick right there, 55 cents. Pretty much it could be a low risk, super high reward trade against 55 cents. And who knows how high it can go. I don't know why it's pumping. Who the hell knows? But that's just the charts telling me. Do what's best for you, man, on it. All right, and then Reefer coin. Looks like our chart's been holding up nicely. It's still showing bullish, a bullish consolidation. This is probably some kind of inverse head and shoulders. Yep, that's what's happening here. So this looks like it's on verge of a breakout too. So this looks like it's pretty good, as long as this pivot holds at right here. Sol on KuCoin. All right, so you see how you broke that low? That's usually go to zero chart sign. That's not good. So I wouldn't look to go long this at all. I mean, when I look at the advance, you just got to trade the cycle, right? So this cycle ended with this pump, okay? Now you're correcting this bullish advance off this low. and it's in the middle of nowhere. Now the question is this 5 waves or 3 waves? That will be the clue to know if it's going to go higher or it's finished for more downside. So we have to look really probably like at the 4 hour, or let's go to the daily. So you have a little bit of divergence here at these peaks. It's not ideal. You have capitulation here. So I would still say, yeah, it looks like there's another leg higher in this stock or crypto. And it should go higher. Now, again, your pivot is here. You break that, you should get out of it. It looks like it's pulling back in a wave 2. It looks like to me it needs more downside and then out. CELR. I don't know if that's a stock or not. I'm not sure, but oh, it's another crypto. Do we have that already on here? Yeah. Well, we kind of got it right? We knew it was going into a wave 3. It just, it's been real messy. So put the 2 there. So it's a wave 3. But the only thing you have is these RSIs. It looks like this is gonna pull back soon in a 2 wave. It may have already started. I like to see a connector wave form like that or something, So I think that's what it's got, something like that. But I do believe it's got more upside when this 2 finishes at some point. And I would look at the RSI on the daily, right? Because this needs to drop like it did here. It may not. It should hold this peak, but it should drop. It should drop somewhere down to here. So I think this got some. This may bounce, but I believe this bounce will fail for more downside. All right, let's take a look. ING. How's that going? Looks like it tried the flat pattern. So as long as we hold this 30.94, the bull case is valid. But let's look at some RSIs. Yep, the RSIs validate that. So it just did a flat, to kind of shake out some people, and it just missed the buy area by like a couple pennies there. So I would be trading it against $32 now on the long side. And then if 32 breaks, then I would be looking to stop out. Because then what this means is this is just a connector, and then we'll go to this box down here. So bulls are being aggressive here. This is being dip bought heavily. The shorts are starting to lose control slowly, but we're getting close to the moment of truth in ING for breakout. And then MLT. Yeah, I don't know what exchange to use, so I'll just use this one. So it's a corrective move. So this one's really challenging. It could be finished. It's large degree correction. It could be done this move, which means a lot more downside to come. It needs to take out this 30 cents area, 30 to negate, to create a new bull market for this coin. So perhaps the short side is the right play here. Is a short. Something like that. but do what's best for you on that, man. And then the next one is you take key, you take key, you take key. Some new coins I don't usually follow. Again, you break that low, that's always really bad technically. Now this is usually a C leg end way. It looks like it's ending some kind of ending diagonal here. Connector. So this advance ended here. So it's bullish against this low. It's in a bull cycle higher. So you could trade it on the long side until that pivot breaks here. Five waves for sure. Yeah, this could be a 1-2, 1-2, or you could still be in 2 and come back. Tough to say. You'll have to decide, but I do believe it will still go higher no matter what happens here. All right, let's go to the next super chat. Root Hex. Root and Hex. This looks like it's been bullish since its beginning. Not a lot of chart data, so the RSI analysis will not be helpful for us, unfortunately. So we won't have all the data that I normally get to have. To me, that's what it looks like for now. Although that's too big of a break, so I could still label this 3 waves though. Yeah, it's 5. So, I mean, when I look at this, it looks too shallow, but the RSI reset on the 4-hour, so it's bullish against this low here. And then the question is, yeah, I think it's still bullish. I think it's bullish. I mean, I would label the chart like this for right now, but you'll have to do what's best for you. It could be a good long against this low here. And then if this low breaks, there'll be a new buy opportunity emerge later down in this area, just below that low in this area. And then that would be another area to go long. So couple ways to play that. Root Hex. I know we've done Hex before. So we have this wave 2 we're still in. Okay, so we reset the cycle here. So I'm morphed into, let's take a look at the longer stochastics. So we're still in this 2 wave now. So this was negated. It's still bullish. It's just in a deeper 2 wave. A higher degree too. Now. So the new area for a long position is right here in this area for a massive breakout opportunity if this can happen. So that's what I'd be looking for now. So the structure is just kind of morphed into something a little different. But again, that's more it's bearish short term, but much more helpful longer term to get to even higher prices later. The big pivot is this one, obviously. So you're just going to have to figure out what you want to do here as this plays out more. CHZ. I guess we didn't do this one. All right, so again, we're bullish against this low. It's a new bull cycle off of this low, clearly, right? New connector. So we trade off of that pivot, this pivot here. Nice divergence. Actually, this is a cycle right here. There's another cycle right there. Yeah, you see, it's a real some. You could get one more high. Again, my count can be off, but if you but you gotta be careful. Watch that bearish divergence play out in that wave 5. You see, and then it rolls over. But we all know, if you follow me, divergence can be erased. So don't think that's a good area. You would never short this, but I'm just showing you what I think, where I think it's going. Wave 4 buy has already hit the buy area. There. So you have to do what's best for you on that. Root Inc. on the NASDAQ. Oh, okay. Huh. It's funny, there's a coin called Root. What do these guys do? Damn, what happened here? Look what's going on here. Insurance, something. Who knows? Okay, let's look at it though. That's what you want to see though, right? You want to see that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. All right. So a couple things. You see there's no divergence here on that peak. So that's a corrective move. This peak has not taken it out yet. That's a good sign, because if it had, you could have a finished correction. Now, this, a little big different warning sign, right? The 4-hour warning, big warning. So when I look at this, I would say it's 50-50. It hasn't hit the sell area yet. So it didn't get rejected. But I could label it like this or this. But there's no data to show that, right? I could very easily get this, right? We don't know. So my point is, this one is not enough data. We are in some kind of third wave, but I can't say, is it corrective? Is it going to impulse? Is it bullish? It's nothing. It's like this is nothing. This is like you don't do any, like, again, like my recommendation is sidelines. But because if you get a big pullback, you could be finished a corrective move, and then it may just keep going lower. The other option is, yes, you could get a pullback and go long and get this wave 5, great, but then you still will get a massive pullback, right? So you just don't know. I just think there's not a lot of data on the higher time frame. it's obviously bearish. So more than likely, it either is going to get rejected from here or just go up to like 1882 and then that's it. So maybe if you're really an aggressive trader, you could try to short it like right in here. But no, you got you're definitely playing with some danger short in anything in just especially with these small stocks. Okay. So let's go back to your guys' questions. AVGO Broadcom. Yeah, we have that somewhere in here. Oh, wherever. I'll just do it here. Type it in. Oh, it's in our short area. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, it's right up at that trend line. The odds of it breaking this is very slim. Okay. We haven't had this wave 4 yet. We're still on 5. I wouldn't pay attention to this box. So I do think there's a pullback at any moment in this 4. It'll be to the same degree and magnitude as this 2. So it'll be a pretty substantial in time and potentially price 4. Yeah, we may have already started to see that. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we'll have to watch it. We have to watch for the extension, but it looks like to me it's something like this. But we don't have signs of a reversal yet, so you can't start shorting it, right? You got to just know that if you've been long it, maybe it's time to ring the cash register soon. 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah. But good luck with that. FDX. Yikes. Is that what I think is going to happen? I haven't updated this chart in a while, but that would be like a calamity, right? That would be that's a recession right there for you. So why did I label it like that? It's been a while since I've seen it. We don't have divergence here. We broke that high. Yeah, this label is negated. Yeah, it's just a real shallow connector. flat, flat pattern. So maybe it drops to like 210, this area here. Looks like it's in a flat. I don't know how to really label this because of this gap down. It could become a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be a 1, 2, 1, 2. It may even be like 1, 2, 3, 4. It could even be a run-in flat and over. But the RSI doesn't support that. So I would say I think this is where we're heading with it, but you do what's best for you. Um, yeah, I don't know why I had that target down there a long time ago. It may have been an old box that I had. But if this is the case, this would be pretty bullish for the markets, right? Because this would be a new wave 3 of the grand supercycle, right? I almost think that's like a moon boy scenario chart. But this isn't because now because it's a flat, the C can actually go down, but it could even retest the low. So that could be still a pretty bearish move in the indices to allow this to happen, especially if we do something like this where you get this two wave so the indices can pump more and then you crash later like that. Do something like that, I bet. So just we'll see how this thing plays out. FedEx will be an interesting chart. POWL. Powell Industries, what the hell? What the heck's going on here? Damn. What does these guys do? What's the market cap? 1.9 billion. Yeah, shit, I don't know a lot about. So, um, I mean, you don't need an expert to label this chart for you. Um, it's in wave 3 of 3, and 3 of 3s can extend as long as they could just keep extending. So I mean, yeah, it's probably over this for this. So probably finally finish the first three. So we have 4s and 5s. So more than likely the easy money's over, and Powell company. All right. How is GoPro outlook? Yeah, these small caps just aren't getting a bid. They're not bouncing. They're not participating. And what that could be is that 10-year underneath the market is causing these stocks to kind of be weaker than even I had expected. Because again, my initial forecast for the 10-year was lower. Let me find it here. Was lower. That would have been rocket fuel for those small caps. But it looks like we've got an impulsive move off the low now of some kind. Now, yeah, when this 2 comes, it's going to help small caps for sure. But if this move happens, guys, in 10-year, in long-term and short-term rates, if we get this next wave higher, right, the 7 or the 2-year, the Fed funds rate, like, or the 1-year to 7, 5, 8, the 1-year. I mean, again, assuming that that little wick is accurate on TradingView, but like Let's say here, conservative, 9.79, 10%. If this chart plays out like I have it here, the small caps are going to get obliterated, guys. They're just going to be like obliterated, and I wouldn't want to hold any of them, which is why I have to stop out, right? You got to stop out, right? GME is a lesson in trading, right? It's a lesson in trading for you guys to trade. It had a long opportunity chart, but the chart stopped me out. When you look at the market, now you see why you got stopped out. The 10 year is too strong. The 10 year stopped me out before, the stock stopped me out before I figured out the 10 year is trying to, be subtle and try to mask what it's trying to do here to the market. Most market doesn't really understand what's happening right now with the bond market. The bond market is telling you, rates are maybe going higher, guys. I think the market, didn't they just price out all the rate cuts for the year? I heard that on the news the other day. So the market is slowly doing that. What if the market starts pricing in rate increases again? Think about that for a minute. Let that sink in. Rate increases. What if the market starts pricing that in? What if inflation is coming back? What if it's Arthur Burns all over and Paul, effed up with his bullish shit in October that he was pumping, or in November, and he just totally blew his wad out there, and now all of a sudden the ghost of Arthur Burns returns, and the markets get another surge higher in inflation and rates. I'm telling you, man, the bond market is showing me a warning sign, and that means the small caps may not be a good long-term hold if this is playing out with this new data. And so you just got to start stopping out if you're going to play the small cap. So GoPro is related to that, guys. GoPro and all these others. So you're just going to have to play it. So GoPro, you gotta have to stop out here at 190 if it breaks this. You got to let it go. No matter how much the chart, because it's game over, man. The chart would be technically a broken chart. It'd be a broken chart. Even I do show 5 like it could end at any moment, but the structure's about to break. I believe the small caps are also showing you that. So then let's go back to the Russell. Let's look at the Russell, the big picture on the Russell, guys. I was looking at this the other day. And again, ignore that, but just look at the big picture on the Russell, guys. This looks like 5 waves. I mean, textbook. In every chart I have that goes 5 waves, we always go back to the wave 4 low, almost always. The wave 4 low is 96, is 120. There's been this has been a mess, a connector wave, right? And if I use my system, my target is here, which happens to be the wave 4 low. So this is also saying rates go higher, the market dumps and crashes like we know it's gonna do. The small caps are obliterated like a bomb. Boom. Some go bankrupt, never to come back to existence again because they can't fund themselves at a 9 or 10% interest rate. They go belly out, and then we pick through the rubble later, and we buy our GMEs later. I mean, it's just the way it goes. Now, I was hoping we get a surge out of this to get some small cap price action to pump, right? And I still think we will here a little bit, but could it be finished? I don't think so. I just don't think so. But I'm not a fan of small caps like going to the moon. I think there's a few outliers like Robinhood, and you go, well, Robinhood's not really, because it's got Bitcoin. It's got doesn't have a ton of Bitcoin on its balance, so maybe Bitcoin's going to support it. What if we're going into a massive inflationary impulse in the economy? The Fed has to raise rates, and what's going to happen? Well, Bitcoin will probably rise in inflation, right? Maybe in the 70s, what did we see happen when Arthur Burns failed, right? The stock market collapsed, of course, tech collapsed, but then gold and silver finally ran, right? The commodities went into wave 3, energy went into wave 3, and maybe Bitcoin will do the same. And then maybe the companies that have some of this Bitcoin are protected a little bit, and they run a little bit against the grain, like a Robinhood, because the Robinhood definitely has a breakout, which none of the others really are showing right now. But anyway, do what's best for you. That's just my thoughts on it with GoPro. I'll go, Bam. I'll go for your. Oh, thank you, man. You made my day. BTU. Yeah, I want to get in on BTU. It's definitely on my watch list, man. I guess I sometimes I just wait for the perfect entry. Maybe there's no perfect entry on this, but I would love to get it at 2080 right here. I would just love to pick it up right there. This looks like three waves to me, so that's why I think it's doing a flat pattern in this wave two right now. You see? So I personally want to see a little bit of a dump here. And of course, it's got to hold 1770. So I'm looking for this a bit very patient trader waiting for this. I have not FOMO'd in. And this hit the trend line, right? It was easy to FOMO in right here, but you're like, oh, it's going to be a breakout, right? But you have to look at this massive breakout opportunity. But I'm going to wait. I'm still going to wait. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If we do break this high, then it more than likely was some kind of run-in flat. And then I'll look to go long on the breakout. Devin, yeah, how's Devin doing these days? How's Devin doing? Tagged our buy area. Look at that. I have to pay attention more. Fifth wave. Again, this is bullish for energy, which is usually the trade's been like 2021, rates higher, energy surges, right? Now, if this is true, what I have here is true, then it's a buy, man. But when does his earnings come out? 27. What if we have a bigger breakout? Oh yeah, look at this. Oh, look at the weekly broke out. Yeah, I like it, man, on the long side. And also that's interesting. That's showing that kind of strength right now. It is, and look at the wave 4 cluster here. Of course, that's where it's finding support. It's obviously impulsive, right? So it's obviously going to take another leg higher. Yeah, I have to pay more attention. I think I need to pick this up. Especially if it dips into earnings. I'm playing this in earnings, man. Wish me luck. See, this is why I like doing this community. You guys help me find some things that I don't normally follow. This now, I would say shorter time frame. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, maybe it has another dip, and we get lucky and get another dip down here. That'd be really opportunistic to dip into like 39, 37, or perhaps you get like earnings and you get that reaction lower and then it reverses after the call or some shit like that. So I really like this. Guys, I like this. I think it's got a big dividend too, right? It'll be very interesting to see what happens. But that weekly RSI, you have weekly, so it's going to bounce. It's due for a bounce, guys. It's due for a bounce. Even though it may still chop around a little bit in this area, but yeah, this is what this looks like. So that's good. Thanks for bringing that to our community's attention. We got to pay more attention to that for sure. Oh, Donald, yeah, let's go back to you. SMCI. I hope SMCI worked out for you, man. It hit our buy area, bounced exactly like we had hoped. And like I had mentioned, take the money and run. Don't push your luck with it, looking for new highs. But I think it will make a new high. I personally believe it will make another high before it really collapses on itself. We were looking at this earlier, right? We were looking at this earlier. We knew this was a wave 3. We needed a wave 4. Okay. So like we had to find the connector wave and we found it, right? And it bounced exactly where we wanted it to bounce. Look, guys. 707, 690, and essentially vertical. I mean, this is textbook. So now it's two possibilities. It's either this, and then we take a fresh leg lower, like that, or it finishes its fifth wave, and then it has a massive collapse. The fifth wave target would be 1173, this area. There. If it got there. So how do you trade this? Right now, it's too late. You can't do anything. There's no setup anymore. The setup's gone. But if it does decide to take another dump, another leg lower, you could be looking at a long at 620 in this area. But 620 in this somewhere in this area. But that's the play now. And then of course this would become a wave. This would be another 1-2. It would be a 1-2-1-2 setup. Or we could force a five wave, but I wouldn't worry. But it would just be trading the swings. But this is just a day. This is a day trader stock now. This thing's lost the fundamentals have lost control. This is just day trader stock. But that was a good bounce there. UNG, like I said, I really don't like natural gas anymore because it broke a massive pivot that we had that I thought was unbreakable, because what it implied would be go to zero, which would be negative prices. And remember, energy can go negative, guys. We saw oil go negative. The price of energy can go negative in a capitulation event. I actually think we're set up to do that in natural gas. We broke this low. This is a connector for the entire decline that we had all the way. So this is set up. This is set up for a lot of downside, guys. I mean, I never thought, because this was the idea. There's always an idea of backing into a low, technically, and a lot of traders use that theory. They back into a low and they go long. And it's a really good technique. It usually works a lot, because what you do is you're like, okay, here's your pivot. You've got a reaction. You're in a new connector, so you back into a low. You're like, I don't care what the count is. I know if the count breaks this low, because the cycle is so huge, it would just take it to zero, which I think is impossible, right? And so you just back into the low, and you're like, it can't go any lower, right? That's what happened to a lot of tech stocks. A lot of people just backed into the low with the mega cap tech stocks, where we didn't get a clean low, but traders backed into the low, because if we would have broke pivots, it would have essentially been tech stocks, to single digits, and that wasn't likely. So this, unfortunately, did break. We did break. I do think this is the count, guys. So based on this count, and again, I'm not going to even label this wave 2, but I wouldn't trade it. I would. UNG is like untouchable. Anything natural gas related to me is just not something I want to mess with. But if you want me to look at it, I will, since you gave me a super chat. Let me see if I can find it real quick. All right, so this was another trade area that it's in, but again, I don't like trading it. Again, there's a connector wave. This is a connector wave for this entire decline, so it just doesn't make sense to trade it. I just don't. I think my advice is go find something like. Again, unless you're trying to short it or something on pops, I think the thing to do now is you just short on really big pops. You got to short it, because it's just the chart is too bearish. There's too many people watching it trying to buy it, and I feel bad because I was bullish on it, but the market has made its decision, and I don't make the market, guys. I'm not a market maker. I just trade what I don't know why it's being sold so hard. Maybe there's politics involved in it, because UNG, they're shipping it internationally, and then Russia, provides that shit, and Germany needs. So maybe there's a political component being manipulated here, but I would be really careful long in natural gas based on my chart. Cool. Hey Anonymous, thank you, man. I'll go to your super chat. Let's take a look here. Nvidia. Yeah, Nvidia's got more upside. My target of 1,000 still stands. And you heard it here first, guys. When we saw the technical break, we're like, oh, it's going to 1,000. And now people are starting to catch on to the 1,000 figure. I do believe that's where it's gonna tap that. It's gonna tap that. This is my pattern. This is my pattern right here. So I do believe we're in a wave 5. So this 3 is going to end soon. Now, at some point, maybe in 850, somewhere around here, it's a danger of ending unless divergence is erased again. And it could keep doing that, guys. That's the crazy thing about the market. So I can't predict the extension, but if we get another surge in the next week, then this will become another one too. And then yes, 1,000. It's going to go over $1,000. So I can't predict it, but I do think that as of now, this is the count, and I think this wave 4 will come. And if you look at the match, it will be similar to this wave 4 or wave 2. This took from July to so like a 3-month correction, right? Is that right? Am I at the right cycle? Yeah, right cycle there. Then it tops out at this wave 3, and then I think you get a cyclical decline, that like something like this, like we got here in this wave 4. And then, oh my God, there's still another wave 5 to come. Yeah, I know, isn't that crazy? So it's just this is just a count. I got to think the easy money's over in this, right? I mean, you got to look at this and go, you probably missed a move. Could it continue to surge? But I mean, damn, what an impressive move it's been. Let's go to your crypto stocks. I am bullish on Bitcoin, guys. What I'm seeing so far, nothing has changed that. So let's take a look at what's going on here. Let's take a look. So HUT, okay, so HUT had a really shallow connector, or actually still the same cycle. It's an impulse. So it's gonna it negated our structure, but what it's gonna do is a couple things. It found support between the 4 and the 2, and we've seen this. We saw this with Mara. When it does this, it's usually done. So what my thinking is, this was just a deep correction, and it's over. Yeah, that's probably the connector wave right there. It's just such a shallow kind of, you didn't get any kind of bounce out of it right there. You didn't get any kind of bounce. And look where you tagged. Barely right there. So my guess is it's done. I think it's done now. I think it's going to be turning higher now. It's basically a straight down crash correction. All right, that's HUT. CLSK. Great, found support in our buy area. Still 3 waves. So it's still not confirmed. This actually looks like 5 down, but that's the 15-minute. Very unreliable time frame. Yeah, connector wave for sure. Okay, so the market is going to decide. It's either going to take another swing lower, or it's going to surge higher. It's a coin flip. Obviously, if you bought it here, you should take some profit. Should have took profit already, but there's another opportunity if you missed this move to buy it again down here at 1344, and it may actually hit that because there's the wave 4. So we could get a deeper correction, but it's unknown at this point because this is still 3 waves. So coin flip on that one. Coin flip. Mara still holding up. This looks impulsive now, guys. Okay, so this is interesting. We hit the wave 4. it looks like an impulse, right? With divergence here, but I can force a flat. I can do that. So I I would say this is very important pivot to hold 2268. So as long as it holds 2268, it looks like this cycle is done here, and it should be heading out of this. Okay, then Riot. We saw the buy here. We got a nice reaction out of that mess. That's a connector. I bet there's more downside coming. This is like a connector, a shallow connector. My guess is it's going to go lower to like 1292. Fill this gap. Oh, okay. Thanks for that. And then you have another super chat. Also, how high do you think they can go? WLF. Okay. TerraWolf. Never. Is that crypto too? Yeah, Bitcoin miner. All right. See, again, you guys always introduce new things I've never heard of. Like I've never seen this one before. Well, let's look at the long-term chart. So you see, you broke this low. So it's a bearish chart. So how high do I think it can go? The odds of it ever seeing these highs is probably non-existent. The other thing is, so you're trading against this cycle against this low, and it's bullish against this low. And so now the question is, what happens here? And you see here, you have really no divergence there. None here. Very bearish chart. This is an impulse down. So my recommendation is you could look for short entries. Now that looks like 3 waves. So it's in some kind of 2 wave right now. This looks like 5 down. I think it's bear. I think it's gonna go lower. That's just my guess. I don't think it has any potential to go. I mean, there's always a chance it could take another swing higher and fool everybody. But if it does, maybe it could go to $5 if you're lucky. Like if you're lucky. Now BTBT, I thought we've looked at that before. Did we get rid of that? I must have deleted that by accident. Oh no, it's on here somewhere. Oh, there it is. BTBT finally hit our buy area, basically right there. There's our connector. And again, the wave sucks. It's an impulse. It's an impulse. Just hate that. I hate that. I just hate that. Yeah, so this isn't I mean, this is where you got to do what's best for you. I think it's got potential to do something like that. But how high can it go? Let's look. It held. It held the low. Good. It looks corrective. Good. It pumped. The last Bitcoin cycle, new all-time highs. Good. So if for some reason it goes crazy again, we get a crazy breakout, like something like a candle like that. Let's take a look. I mean, again, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it almost hit the 2618, right? $85. 85. So $85. That would be a similar move as we saw here. Um, God knows why it would happen, but that's the chart technicals playing out. 85, and then I probably could draw the trend line and get there by connecting the peaks. I probably could get that, and from peak to peak to cycle peak. So, but short term, ugly. This is ugly because of this little dip right here. It screwed everyone up, man. This is I don't like it. So you just kind of watch it. If you end up breaking this high, then my count is wrong, and then of course it will run. It will run hot. And then the other one was MIGI. Again, you broke the low. It's a bearish chart. I don't like it. No upside potential is probably non-existent. It does look 5 up though. So it does look like it'll take another swing higher at some point. Yeah. So it could end at any moment for another swing higher. So I think it has got another swing higher. It could end at any moment, and then it could maybe tag like 527, $6. Is this another crypto? Yeah. All right, so two of those are pretty bearish stocks that I wouldn't think to go long, and then one could be uber bullish, but the entry sucks right now in it. All right, Alex. Sure, VLO. Let's go to your VLO. Valero. Yeah, we haven't looked at that in a while. Yeah. I thought we've labeled that. I guess we lost our labels. There's your grand supercycle drop here, correcting the whole thing. It's kind of a weird chart. Nah, see, it's a 1-2, 1-2. Bullish. So very bullish. But on the grand supercycle degree, it's a 1-2, 1-2. It looks like to me we have a wave 3 of 3 breakout potential. Oh, we're just about to break out. Okay, so there could be some really nice gains about to happen in this stock. You see that RSI reset, a nice sideways correction to correct that cycle. Yeah, that's how I label it. There's only I can't get any other way. But you have to do what's best for you. So yeah, that's how I would label this, man. Super bullish, and we'll add that to my list. Does it pay? I wonder if it pays a dividend too. So yeah, we'll be yeah, I probably need to do some shopping in some of these producers. So I wonder if that implies with rates going up. I wonder if that implies oil is gonna surprise us and break the pivot. That's why I didn't recommend shorting it here, because if oil breaks 79 or $80, then the B wave is going to come higher. And like I said, if that B wave comes higher, we could still be in a bigger connector wave, X. And then we could actually run up to $112, $116. So I wonder if that's what's about to happen, guys. I wonder if that's about to happen. I wonder if this isn't going to happen like I've got it. And we're about to see energy have a breakout. I think looking at what you guys are bringing to me, I think I've got to pick up some energy producers on Monday, guys. I think I got to pick up some energy producers. Yeah, I pick up some energy producers. Because those charts look good. Those two I looked at, they look pretty good. Devin, this one, very interesting. So we'll keep an eye on the energy producers. We may be having a move in those. They may be the rotation that people are going to go into soon. Keep an eye on that. Maybe this X wave has got more meat to it. And I mentioned too, connector waves can last actually years. They don't play out quick. Sometimes the connector wave could go years sideways, and like it could go to 112 and down to 84 and up to 120. I mean, it could do this for years and years and years before you get the capitulation wave. So who knows, right? Who knows? It probably makes sense too, because if energy is going to run, that will give support, you know, to some of the other stocks. Yeah, I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. But right now, the bearish case is still valid. The bearish case is still valid. All right, let's look at the other one you had here. MV. Oh, so we have this wave too. So we're still looking for a breakout. It looks ready to go. But again, very important level to hold, 184. So low risk, high reward trade setup in microvision. But if it does break, you got to stop out and you got to walk away because it's going to collapse. It could go a lot lower. Thank you, Alex. All right, let's see. I think I got all the super chats there. I'll just kind of scan through the comments and wrap up the call. Time, there's no time component. There are people I follow on my channel on Twitter that do timing. I think Bob Lucas is a guy that does like timing and stuff and cycle time. I know that there are pros that do that for like the 3-year cycle, the 1-year cycle, and there is something to that shit. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there is something to that shit, the timing cycles. I mean, the thing is I don't really apply that to what I do because I don't really trade calls and puts. So timing is not that relevant to me more than price level. But I mean, if we get Moon Boy scenario, my timing estimate would be like 2029, 2030. That would be the end of the blow off top for our Great Depression crash, the Bob Prechter crash, right? That is where I'm thinking based on my analysis of timing if Moon Boy plays out. Now, of course, Moon Boy doesn't play out. That shit's gonna happen this year, guys. So, so if Moon Boy plays out and we continue to search higher, the 10-year actually dumps and rates go lower, and everything's kind of off kilter, and the market Moon Boys, then I think the market, based on the quarterly and monthly stochastics, I think it could go to the end of 28, 29, top out there, and then the early 2030s could be like the worst time in the market, almost like the 1930s. What do you know? Isn't that something? 100, maybe there's a 100-year cycle emerging that we just don't know about because it hasn't been enough like time to be alive. I mean, who knows? Like, do you know what the market was doing in 1829 and 18? Who knows? Maybe there's a 100-year cycle, right? So I don't know what it all means, but I'll just say that that's kind of what I'm looking at. If we Moon Boy, I think it's gains until like the 28, 29 time frame, and then I believe it just seems like that's when the long-term stochastics will run out. Because eventually everything runs out, right? Nvidia, all that shit will find like nothing goes up forever. So then. Anyway, I'll just scan through. I don't have charts like that. I do want to look at Zoom because I'm curious how that's been trading. I don't pay attention to it. I don't trade it, but it has been a very interesting stock to follow because of its such a rise, such a fall. Where is my stay-at-home bucket? Oh, still in our buy area. Oh, finding support, very interesting. It's trying to make a stand. When's earnings? Oh, already. Oh, Monday. Holy shit, guys, this is gonna be crazy. You're gonna see a massive move in Zoom. I think. Watch me be wrong and look like an idiot, but it's either gonna have an epic collapse, like a holy shit 30% collapse, or this thing is gonna be juiced up to 76, 70. I mean, but if I look at this, it looks like an impulse. This looks three waves. It looks bullish. It looks bullish. If someone put a gun to my head, I would say go long. But longer term, and then you got, but longer term, higher time frame, you broke this low, you're below the long-term trend line. It is a hell of a decision if you want to trade this, but I think it can have a massive move. But do what's best for you. Now, if you yeah, it's Monday, so you won't even have time. Maybe if it trades down, you could say it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would be your clue to get the hell out of it. But yeah, well, this is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be interesting to watch on Monday. This is gonna be an interesting one. This earnings, this is gonna be interesting to see what happens. I'll definitely be watching this one. Um, yeah, Pod's double correcting. So Pod had a really shallow connector, guys. Uh, it did break out, and then it just completely failed, right? And of course that could happen. That's why when you get these bounces, so we had this wedge, we actually broke out, right? So now you just have this super shallow connector, and there's no way to predict that. That's why when you get these three wave moves and you get in, you get these bounces, you always want to take something off the table because you never know if you get but this is a rare. This doesn't happen a lot. But now that it happened, it's going to bring pod down to 160 at some point. So it's coming down here, guys. But it should still be supported. It's still going to be supported, I believe, because of this impulse out. So this is just this will be just a gift. Again, if you missed this move, so it just sucks. Because now we have seen before, like I said, the market loves to do this, right? In a connector, where you break the pivot here, you break that pivot, then you run up only to crash later. So watch out for that trap. This trap. Watch out for that trap. But now that this is broken, it's a broken chart. It's a trade setup is lost, and now you just have to come back later if it happens to be down here. Um, End phase. Yeah, how's our green stocks doing? Again, if oil's going to go down, that will hurt our green stocks. If oil and energy will surge, the green stocks will form either a connector or a low. Okay, so look, this is going into its capitulation event. Now, I have heard with end phase, higher rates destroyed end phase's business. That's what I had read. So if rates are going to go higher, I can see why this will play out. Maybe it has nothing to do with oil. Now, that's the chart. So that's what I got. So end phase is looking for $60. This low to break here. That's what it's looking for. Until we break 142. So just good luck on that. First solar is also turning lower, but again, we're looking for this wave 5 capitulation event. That's what we're looking for. Well, guys, I got to run. Thanks again. Appreciate the super chats. Good luck trading. Very